Okay, so I'm experimenting with this new format. Saw this thread, kind of caught my attention, and I was like, let's record a video as we're kind of reading it, kind of just commentary, I guess. So 2020, like this is kind of what caught my attention, right? In 2020, they built the world's first virtual ad tech platform. In 2021, so a year later, they sold it for 18 million. So in only 10 months. So to me, like, that's like, okay, like, tell me more, right? These two dudes look, I don't know, they look average, right? So blah, blah, blah. Meet the founders of Bloxbiz, advertising platform for the 28 billion online game. So Roblox, I don't know very much, right? I'm not a gamer. I don't have kids yet that are that age. My daughter's like less than 2. 75 million monthly active players, right? Like, it's just an insane number. Okay, so how'd they get there? Video game advertising, potential 7 million industry. I'm always skeptical of these numbers because, like, you just see these big things like, oh, the developer education industry is 100 million or, whatever. So I'm like, okay, keep going. Blah, 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 right? So, I don't know, a little bit of a startup background, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Right, 3 years, they're brainstorming ideas, okay? Okay, why are they drawn to Roblox? Designed for kids between 8 and 12. I don't know why that stands out. Like, I don't know what to think about this line. And a lot of players to create mini games again. Okay, so players can create their own games. Okay, 222 million at monthly active. Like, that's just insane. Okay, MVP. They had a monetization problem. Okay, so this is interesting, right? Like, to me, it's like, okay, how can I use this lesson, right? There's a huge player base, right? The huge number of users, but there's a monetization problem. So I'm like, okay, where else is there this like huge base of users with some type of problem? That's kind of the lesson I'm taking away from this tweet. So game creators, so there's 1.7 million game creators. So I guess that's their target audience, only made 30 million. And I don't know Roblox, so this is confusing to me. So they're trying to help developers, right, make more money. Okay, again, making people more money, right? They're willing to pay for it, or maybe not pay for it, but share revenue. They started talking to players. Okay, so they send 100 DMs per day. Like, that is insane. As someone like on the part-time creator route, like, there's no way I can make time for that. I mean, I could maybe, but without sacrificing like either sleep or time with family or something else. But 100 DMs per day, right? Like, and I like that they use Twitter, right? Like, focused on one channel. If the goal is just like, let's send 100 DMs a day, like, that's something you can measure, and it's easy to know when you're done, right? I don't like the traditional marketing, I guess, when you're like marketing or sales where it's hard to measure. So they spent months talking to developers, blah, blah, blah. MVP was ready in 7 days. So that's also interesting to me, right? Like, these, again, whatever I'm building, I guess I want it to be a quick MVP. So it doesn't really say what the MVP is. That's kind of like left me guessing here. But yeah, right. So don't know the community, right? So they reached out to a developer who helped them do this, right? So, like, that seems like great. Like, how do you find a kind of a cheerleader within the community? 3D advertising billboard. It seems kind of genius. Sorry, just making sure I'm not waking up the baby. Okay, we're 5 minutes in. Okay, it's easy to get developers to use it. If it worked, they made money, right? So I kind of like this. It's not freemium. I just like revenue sharing. I don't know what the correct term is. But it's like, hey, like you like building mini games. I want to help you make money. If you make money, we both make money. So I like that idea. And for context, an industry that I'm thinking about is language learning, specifically language instructors. So like somebody teaching Spanish on YouTube. Okay, so the target audience is cool. They're like, yeah, let's do this. So they have people using the product, but then it's like, how do you convince companies to advertise on Roblox? So sales from scratch, okay. Cold outreach on LinkedIn. Interesting. So they outsourced it using a commission-based reseller model. I don't know what reseller is, but I imagine it's like you hire someone and you're like, hey, you get paid based on commission. So if you make money, we both make, or if we make money, you make money, I guess. 20 salespeople, that's in 3 months. Like, that's crazy. They received acquisition offers even when they had an MVP. So that's like an interesting signal. Okay, so they needed to grow fast. Their sales partner at Super League, I don't know what Super League is. A gaming launchpad for creators and brands is already working in gaming was launched. Okay. So he's their sales partner. He convinced his own company, not his company, but the company he works for, to make an offer. So that's interesting to me. So it's almost like, did they strategically pick him, knowing that the Super League might acquire it? So I don't know. Okay, so 3 lessons. Focus ruthlessly on things you can drive the lever, right? Like, I think, that lesson comes from like the 100 DMs a day, or like just talking to people. Validate before launch, right? So they spent months talking to people. Be adaptable to change. Cool. Yeah, so anyways, those are kind of my lessons. Some commentary on that.